Yeah. Let's see what we can DIY.
Right.
Okay, go turn that off. My feet are asleep. Now that I've gone through all of the Halloween decor that we already had on hand, I figured out what exactly I was missing and what I wanted to actually create versus buy. One of the pieces of decor that I really wanted was a witch's broom, just to kind of set in a corner of the room and just kind of be kind of weird. When I was looking at them at Michael's, they had a really cheap looking one with just a regular stick for like a plunger. It was the dumbest looking stick. And it on its own was $6 before any sale prices. I looked at a couple of other places and I looked online and they wanted 10, 20, 30, 40, even like $50 for a stick with some straw on the end. I was able to find a few things at the Dollar Tree and I found a stick in my own backyard to help me create this on a really, really small budget. At the Dollar Tree, I found these two cute little room decor, and I went through everything that they had in this style at the store, and I found the two that seemed to have the biggest bundle of straw so that I had the most to work with for the price I paid. Now, granted, these were only $1, so if I had to buy one or two more, I'm not that upset about it because this whole project is going to cost me $2, plus a few things that I already had on hand and a free stick from my backyard. First thing I'm going to do is actually remove all of the little bits and bobs from these brooms because I don't need any of this stuff on here. These little guys were really cute, so I think I might keep them, but everything else can go. All of the little pieces have been taken off, and there's even some glue still on here from the little leaves. But that's fine. We'll just put that on the inside and nobody will see that it's there. These strings are holding the broom pieces together. So I'm going to just untie those and unweave this little part. These strings might come in handy, so we're going to hold on to them. And I'm going to take this one off, but I'm going to leave this one here because I want to make sure that this all stays together until I'm ready for it to kind of open back up. Because this has been crimped right here, it's very, very tight. So I'm just going to loosen it up a little bit and try not to break too many of these pieces. Okay, this is the stick that I found in my yard, and it's a little bit shorter than I really wanted it. We had to cut some damage off of the end of it. But I love the bend in it. I thought it was really fun. And it's got kind of some damage up here that we thought was interesting. So I'm going to leave this ugly part at the top and attach the straw to the part that's been cut already at the bottom. I'm going to lay the larger bundle on the bottom. And at this point is where I'm going to open it up. So I've laid the string out that I just took off and the straw on top, and I'm just going to kind of gently open it up a little bit. And I'm going to lay the stick in there. And I'm going to start by putting some glue on the back just to keep it in place a little bit. And I'm going to bundle it up underneath of the stick a little bit. Then we're going to do the same thing to this one. We're going to take this string off now. I think I can just slide it off the top for this. This one had a few more broken pieces because I think it was tied a lot tighter than the other one. The ugly spots are going to go down and just rest it over top of the stick. I'm going to take this string and just give it a tie. So it's on there. It's not super tight yet, and I definitely am going to need some reinforcement. So this jute string I already had on hand. It's from the Dollar Tree, and this comes in a pack of like 3 colors. I think it's a green and this color and maybe a red. I can't remember. but it's really thick jute, and it definitely takes a lot less when you're wrapping something to use the thicker jute than it does to use the thinner jute, which I do also have on hand, which is also from the Dollar Tree. I've had these for years and I still have a ton. So I'm going to get a nice long piece and I'm going to tie it really, really tightly. And I don't want any of this to move. So I'm going to have somebody come and put their finger here. So we're going to wrap it like a Christmas present really, really tightly. Perfect. Okay, so this is nice and tight. I'm not worried about it going anywhere. The glue is helping us stay in place. If you can pull and the whole thing kind of comes off, then you know you didn't tie it tight enough. But I can move a few individual strands, but this is not coming off as a whole, and I'm not worried about it falling off if I lift it up. So now I'm going to just take all of these loose strings here and fold them down and take the jute and just start winding. And this is where you can get really, really tight as well. Now, instead of tying this off, I'm going to do a piece of hot glue again and just wrap this down and hold it in place. And this is our completed broom. If you wanted to, you could put a bow on it, or you could decorate it again with the little scarecrows that came on the broom parts. But we wanted it to just be kind of a funky little witchy accessory for the room. And I love the way it turned out. I think it's perfect. I think this is definitely worth more than the $2 that I paid for it. I mean, I think this is leaps above the one at Michael's. That's literally a plumber stick with the stain stuff on the end. So I'm really happy with this very first decoration that we've done today. The next project is actually one that I was just inspired to do when I was walking through the Dollar Tree. I saw these cute infinity scarves that had an orange buffalo check pattern. And if you guys remember when I was going through all of my fall decor, I had that cute black and white buffalo check one. I saw these and thought they'd be perfect to wrap around these gaudy, cartoony foam pumpkins. So each of these 3 pumpkins cost me $1 a piece. I'm sure I could have found at Walmart, if I had waited for them to put their Halloween stuff out, I'm sure I could have found a bag of pumpkins like in this smaller size for cheaper, but I didn't feel like waiting, and I was already at the Dollar Tree and they had it, so I went ahead and bought it. But I wanted 3 different sizes and thought these would be the perfect size. And I bought 3 scarves, but I don't think I'm going to need all 3 of them. And then to give them a better stem than these weird plastic and foam stems, I got a few sticks from the backyard. And if I decide it needs some zhuzhing at the end, I've got some jute, both the skinny jute and the thick jute. And I've also got some brown raffia that I had in my stash already. So to start with, I'm going to take the largest pumpkin and I'm going to pop the tag off and this funky stem. This is literally put on with a toothpick. And I'm going to take this stick that I'm using for the stem and I'm going to shove it down inside. And oh, it's fun. It's hollow. That's exciting. It's completely hollow inside. But this hole will give us something to push the scarf down into when we're doing that. So I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. I'm going to poke a hole. So I'm going to open the infinity scarf and take a look at it. This scarf, it's not wide enough to go all the way around like this. So I'm going to have to wrap it separately. So I'm going to cut along the seam. I'm going to take this raw edge and shove it down into the pumpkin as I curve it around. When I get to the bottom, I'm going to cut it again and shove all of that into the pumpkin as well. So to do the next one, I'm going to overlap slightly and shove the scarf down inside. And we're going to do that one more time. now that the pumpkin is completely covered in the scarf, I can insert the little stem. Again, I'm going to put the fresh cut piece down. I'm going to put some of the raffia a little bit in the hole and then put the stick back in. Oh, cute. Okay, so it gives it just a little bit of curly vine looking parts. If you wanted to, you could add a leaf like the one that we got from the brooms just now. You could just put the little leaf on there and hot glue it in. I don't particularly care for the leaf. I think I'm going to do it without the leaf. So you could stop here. This could be your completed pumpkin. I think this is adorable. And this is one of those projects that you can do with absolutely no hot glue. I love how these 3 pumpkins turned out. They're so cute. And I think for a total of $4, because we only used one of the Dollar Tree scarves, you can't beat this deal. Like, this is so cute. Even something like this at Walmart with the real stick, which I got for free, mind you, and like the fun kind of farmhousey holiday fabric, you'd pay a couple of dollars a piece at Walmart for the smaller ones and like $6 or $8 for the big one. So I think that for $4 for the 3 of these pumpkins, you can't beat that. They're so cute. They look like they came in a set. They go together, and I think that they'll be really cute in there mixed in with the other buffalo plaid stuff. I found this awesome plaque sign at Goodwill for $2. It was on 50% off, so I paid $2 for it. And it's nice and heavy. It's not wood, I don't think. It almost looks like a plaster. And the perfect shape for kind of a witchy saying that I want to put inside. So I'm going to cover up this weird country alphabet thing by painting it with the black outdoor chalk paint that we used in the porch video. And to do that, I'm just going to use a simple foam brush. You can pick up the foam brushes in a packet at the Dollar Tree for super cheap. You can even get them on Amazon, and they're actually cheaper per piece on Amazon if you break it up that way. Okay, so I put a couple of coats of paint on this, and I'm just going to go ahead and let it dry for now, and we'll come back to it later. One of the other things that I saw while I was out looking at Halloween decor at Michael's was some super cute pillows. They have some really cute pillows this year, and I love them so much. But even with the discount, I couldn't afford to pay that. They wanted $20, $30, $40 for one pillow. I remembered while I was out that Target always has cute tea towels or kitchen towels or bar towels for the holidays and all the different seasons. So at Target last year, I remembered I picked up some really fun ones that said like Ravens Inn and all this other stuff. So this is kind of what they look like. This is a pack from last year, but they're $3. And at Target this year, I did look, and they are also $3 to $5 again, depending on which ones you want. I am going to tea dye the towels that I have because they're a little bit too bright white for what I want. I want them a little bit more distressed looking.
To do the tea dye, I started with a pot of boiling water that was deep enough to hold the towels that I wanted to put in it. Once the tea's brewed and it's nice and dark, which is about 5 minutes later, you can take the tea bags out, or you can leave them in if you want kind of a mottled look. These towels are going to dye really, really well because they are 100% cotton. Normally, natural fibers take tea dyeing a little bit better than any of the synthetic fibers that are out there. Once the towels were in the hot tea water, I set a timer for 1 hour and just let them be.
I'm back, and our paint has dried. The towels have been tea dyed. I have my pumpkin cream cold brew, and I got a flu shot. So pretty eventful last few hours. And I'm going to go ahead and get started on the pillows first. The difference in the color of these two towels is very minimal. So if you look here, these are very bright white, and these are a little bit more muted. So it's not so stark and in your face. I am very happy with the way that these turned out. I definitely didn't want them fully brown. I just wanted them not so stark. There are two ways that you could do this. And honestly, either way works. There's no special, better way. It's whatever your preference is. If you are not into the pocket pillow like I usually do, like the one that you saw me make in the dining room makeover video where I made the dog pillows, I'll link that one up in a card above. If you're not comfortable doing them that way, so you're going to match one of the edges of the tea towel with the bottom hem of the shirt. So this piece is already finished. You'll line the tea towel up with that, and you could do the top or the bottom of the towel. And basically, you're going to cut the t-shirt in the exact shape of this and stitch on the three sides, leaving the top open. You can come in with a ribbon and add some ties at the top to close it up so that you don't have to do all of the crazy pocket sewing. Now, to do the pocket pillow, it's a little bit different because we're using a t-shirt and it's kind of scraps. We don't have this whole big piece of fabric to play with. But if you had fabric, you can do it exactly the way I do it in the other video. And it'll be very, very easy for you to follow that tutorial. I have the front and the back of the shirt cut to the size that I need to create the pocket. You will notice that if I lay these out flat, they are wider than I need for the pillow. Because we're using a stretchy t-shirt material for the back of the pillow, I want to make sure that I don't cut it too small. So I'm going to leave that in place until it's sewn in, and then I will trim it to size. I'm going to lay the tea towel right side up, matching up the raw edge with the edge of the pillow.
One thing I didn't mention is to overlap the two finished hems of the shirt down the center of the tea towel front. This is going to create the pocket pillow that you're looking for. Once everything's pinned down, go ahead and sew it on all four sides, making sure to backstitch at each of the corners and across the area where the two back pieces overlap each other.
The pillow is now stitched up on all four sides. And I'm going to go in with the fabric scissors and trim off the raw t-shirt material. All four of my corners have been pressed out. And my pocket on the back is beautiful. I love it. It's nice and tight. Okay, it's all done. I've stuffed this pillow. I think it looks amazing. And I'm really excited to put this on the couch. I love the way that this turned out, and it's going to work so well with the decor in the living room. I'm sure you've noticed that my lighting has changed. My hair is insanely flat, and I have no idea what's going on with my face right now. We're back to finish this. It is the end of the day. It is, what time is it now? It is literally 9:30 at night, you guys. I had planned to do all of the crafts and get everything decorated today. Didn't happen. Maybe it's because I left midday. Maybe it's because this was still really tacky because of how humid it was in the house after being rainy outside all day. So I had to wait for a really long time for it not to be tacky. The other thing that took me at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, I don't even know because I lost track, was creating this fun Halloween printable to go in here. So this plaque is the exact size to fit this 8.5 by 11 paper, but I don't want to just glue it in there like that and call it a day. I want to do something really nice and distress it, maybe attach it with some Mod Podge, give it some stains and some crinkles, and do some fun things to this. So this printable will be available for free on my Patreon for all of the patron levels for the month of October. So if you want this, please go and sign up on Patreon. Today, though, I'm going to distress this, and to start, I think I'm just going to tear a little bit. And normally if I'm tearing a nice straight line, I'll use a ruler, but I'm just going to kind of wing it, and if I tear part of the edge off, that's okay. Black Soot Distress Ink. This is Tea Dye Distress Ink and Van Dyke Brown. I'm just going to go to town. I think I'm going to start with the tea dye. I've distressed all the way around. You can kind of see the little red barn there, but I'm not too worried about it. And I didn't worry about any of this inside part. You can see it's still shiny. And the reason for that is because this is literally going right on top. So I'm not too worried about it. I distressed in exactly the spots I wanted to distress in. And to glue this down, I'm just going to use some paper Mod Podge. If you hear snoring, it's Metal Gear. Like I said, it's late and he's passed out in the dog corner over here. So please ignore it. I'm just going to put a generous amount on there and spread it out with this big brush. When you're doing Mod Podge, I definitely recommend a big, fat brush. The reason for that is because you get a few swipes and you're good to go. So I usually will smooth out my bubbles from the middle first and then go over the edges with the brush just to stick it down. Okay, so this is done. I've Mod Podged it on. I may give it another coat of Mod Podge tomorrow, but I love the way it turned out so far. The only thing I have to do is put some string through this hole here. I can't believe the amount of projects I got done today. I know that it did take me all day long, but for the most part, these ones were actually super quick and easy. It really was just the amount of time it took to design this and the few errands I ran and the tacky paint from how humid it was in the house. Altogether, everything I made today cost less than $15, which is insane. I had to triple check the math. I'm very proud of this printable and I can't wait for you guys to see it and download it and have some fun with it. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are incredible. You're the reason I'm here. Give this video a big thumbs up. Comment down below which of these projects was your favorite and which one you think you'll be making next. Keep an eye out for next week's video where you will see me use all of these items to decorate my house for Halloween. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!